Good evening, dear members and guests.
Good evening.
A very happy new year to each one of you present here.
Happy New Year.
Thanks a lot. I am Toastmaster Prakarsh Anand, your acting sergeant at arms for the day. I have been at the club for about a year now, and I have been reminded time and again about three things which are really important to conduct a Toastmasters meeting smoothly. Will you follow what I say?
Yes.
Just three simple things to do. Firstly, put your phones on silent mode. I'll give you 5 seconds to do it. Maybe a thumbs up will help. Thanks a lot. Secondly, do not talk about sex, religion, or politics. It may hurt people around you. Let's spread love, support, and care. And thirdly, whenever you are moving or going out or coming inside the hall, make sure you only do it when there is an applause happening. It helps the speaker on stage to not get distracted. Are you on the same page?
Yes.
So let's begin the first meeting of the year 2025 at the Bangalore Toastmasters Club with a thunderous round of applause. Next up, the person coming on stage is a magician. He is the best in using power of words. I remember his grandma story. The values you live by and the values you live by. I remember his daughter Kallu, if you remember. That story was amazing. And then he talked about English language part 1 and English language part 2 and so on. Whenever he comes on stage, the audience expects only one thing from him. What is it? Humor and laughter. A professional leadership development trainer, a seasoned Toastmaster who has spoken across the world, Dubai, India, you name it. A person who is my mentor, a humorous, the magician. Please put your hands together for the president of our club, Toastmaster, Simha.
Thank you, Prakarsh, for those sweet words. He told us that he is an acting surgeon at arms, right? The last portion of his speech was the real acting. I call to order the meeting number 146 season. The minutes of the previous meeting 1459 was uploaded by our previous secretary Toastmaster Prakarsh Anand. I now request our secretary Toastmaster Mahesh Lokesh to share a few highlights from those meetings. Please hold your applause, please.
Good evening, Toastmasters and my dear guests.
Good evening.
Meeting number 1459 was held in St. Xavier's Hall. We had 26 members and 14 guests. The theme of the meeting was Turn Over a New Leaf, and the word of the day was entrust, meaning to assign responsibility. Example would be, I would like to thank all the members of Bangalore Toastmasters Club in entrusting the new community. The Best Speaker Award went to Toastmasters Amrit Ko, and the Best Evaluator went to DTM Vijayana. The Best Role Taker went to Toastmaster Aman. The Best Auxiliary Role went to Toastmaster Bryan, and the Best Table Topic Speaker went to guest Akshay. For more details, you can check out Bangalore Toastmasters Club on YouTube.
Thank you. Members, is there any amendments or changes in the minutes of the meeting?
No.
The minutes of the meeting 1459 stands fast. Now I request the guests to please rise from your seats. Please, the guests. Thank you for joining Bangalore Toastmasters Club meeting. Members, how do we welcome the guests? I will request the committee members to please stand up. So, dear guests, during the break as well as at the end of the meeting, our Toastmaster Mahavi, the VP membership and his team, Toastmaster Rashi, will guide you outside the meeting to share you the details about Toastmaster program and any of your clarification. Thank you so much. Please come. Happy New Year, my dear Toastmasters and esteemed guests.
Happy New Year.
This was exactly my wife told me 2 days back. And I said, really? And she said, yes, Happy New Year. And I said, promise me. I think I'm going to have a fabulous 2025, and I believe that all of us sitting here will have a fabulous 2025. 164 years ago, 8,000 miles away, in a village, there was a baby girl born. Her name was Anna Mary Robertson. Anna was playful. She played with her siblings. They created pictures not using crayons, but lemon juice, grape juice, and sawdust. Like any other girl, Anna had hope in her head, happiness in her heart, and music in her strides. But at the age of 12, the tender age of 12, she had to leave her home to fend for her family. She worked as a housekeeper for the next 15 years, keeping, cooking, and sewing. At the age of 27, she was lucky to find a man, Thomas Moses. She married him, and Thomas was working in the farm. So they began working in the farm, and Anna, by the age of 46, she had 10 children. Just like my grandmother, she had 11. I don't blame Thomas Moses or my grandfather, because at those times, they didn't have smartphone to play with. So what happened is, at the age of 67, Thomas Moses passed away. And Anna was at that point of time, apart from working in the farm, she was making potato chips, making butter from milk to add income to the family. And at the age of 72, she completely retired from her life, and she moved to one of her daughter's house, and she began working on her embroidery. But at the age of 76, what happened is she came across arthritis. That's where her sister Celestia suggested that, Anna, it's difficult for you to work on embroidery, it's painful, so why don't you try painting? So on a Christmas Eve, to give a present to a postman, she thought it's better to paint than standing beside a hot stove baking cake. So at the age of 76, for the first time in her life, she had a painting brush. Little did she realize at that point of time that this is going to change not only her life, but the life of many people. In the beginning, Anna made pictures, and she saw those pictures at $3, $6. Then luckily, one person found the pictures and put that pictures in an exhibition. and her fame and popularity rose like anything. And her pictures were selling at $8,000 and $10,000 at the age of 76. And for the next 25 years, you won't believe, she crafted 2,000 pictures. And she died at the sweet age of 101. Yes. And in 2006, one of her pictures, which is called Sugaring Off, was sold at a whopping $1.36 million. I'm sure you may not know Anna because she's not known as Anna. She is known as Grandma Moses. And I am sure each one of us must have seen her pictures in the Hallmark greeting cards. Either you have sent to someone or you might have received someone. What Anna's life teaches us is when one door closes, another door opens. But most of the time we stare at the closed door for a longer time. We don't see the door which is open. For Anna, the closed door was the door of embroidery. And the door which she opened was the door of painting. And she stepped into the world of painting. Today is the first day of the rest of her life. And no one can go back and create a new beginning. But everyone can start now and create a brand new ending. To take us through the meeting, we have, I can call it another magician, yes. This person is born to speak. Now, why did I say that? Because way before he was born, Rajesh Khanna has sung a song for him in the movie Amar Prem. Kuch to log kahenge, alog ka kaam. Yes, he is born to speak. And now we have an acting surgeon at arms. I think he's the permanent SAA of our club, single and available. A steadfast sales professional working as a regional sales manager for C-Scala. If you ask him the secret source of his success in sales, he will say, reject the rejection. Don't ask me how many proposals. I mean business proposals. I graduated in electronics and communication from BNMIT and a management graduate from TFI Management Institute from Manipal, right? Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, this person is a poet and author and moreover a prolific speaker. Please let me welcome the unassuming, humble, yet simple Simha, Toastmaster Alok Simha.
With that kind of an introduction, I'm sure I won't be permanently SAA for long. Namaskar. Namaskar. Wish you a wonderful new year. We've had two magicians. Now let me get into a little bit of a magician act. Let me ask all of you to close your eyes for a moment. I've never done this before, so let me try. Just imagine a blank canvas and write 3 goals for 2025 in it. Now wipe the canvas clean. Write 1 goal and 3 steps to achieve that goal. Wipe the canvas clean again. Write 3 positive things about yourself. Wipe the canvas clean. Write 3 negative things about yourself. Okay, that's a lot of imaginary writing we've done already. Please open your eyes. Let me take you back to 2021. Now, whenever I look for inspiration, I go back to cricket. Border Gavaskar Trophy 2021. This is happening right now. The last time India was in Australia, it was in 2021. First test match, Adelaide, India lose. 36 for 9. That is the second lowest test score after East Africa, who were bowled out for 32 some years ago, 50 years ago, some decades ago. So first test, India lose. They were bowled out for 36 for 9. Virat Kohli, the captain, comes back due to a personal leave, and Ajinkya Rahane steps in. Now the team could have just given up, saying we were bowled out for 36 for 9. This series is going nowhere. But then, second test match, Melbourne, Boxing Day, India bounce back. Rahane leads the show with a century, and India win the test match in Melbourne, and the series is tied 1-1. The action moves to Sydney, the SCG, and in the fourth innings, India needs more than 400 to win. This is again a chance to script a new beginning. India are cruising at around 250 for 3, and then there's 2 quick wickets again. So India is staring down the barrel, 150 runs required, 50 overs with 5 wickets. And out of the 2 people who are batting at that particular point in time, Hanuma Vihari, Ashwin, one of them has a back injury, the other has a leg injury. So neither of them can bat. But they bat about 50 overs. They survive 50 overs on the final day to draw the test match. And at that point in time, nobody could have believed that 2 batsmen who were handicapped, or literally, and who are not even complete batsmen, can save the game for India. And that was almost a moral victory at that point in time. So the series is tied 1-1. The final test is in Brisbane. Now Brisbane for Australia at that time was known as a fortress, because they had not lost a test match for 31 years. Since 1988, they had never lost a test match in Brisbane. And lo and behold, on the 4th day, India needed 327 runs. Rishabh Pant joins the party, and India script a win that none of us would have imagined at the beginning of the series, where India was bowled out for 36 for 9. Now, consider the whole context of the series. This series was played in the backdrop of COVID, when all of us were grappling COVID back in 2020, and all these players were in bubbles when they were not playing. There was a COVID bubble, and they had to be within the bubble if they had to be eligible to play the test match. So if the team had just given up, saying, okay, 36 for 9, we can't do anything, let's give this up. If they had given up mentally, then we have not seen a new beginning that happened, say, Adelaide. We have not seen 2 people who were injured and handicapped come out and bat and face 50 overs to just save a test match. And we would have not seen the fortress that the Australians call Brisbane being breached by India, and India won the series 2-1. And when you look at this particular example or this particular story, and if you recollect any incident from your life where you have turned around things, you probably realize that new beginnings do not happen overnight. You cannot just wake up one fine day and say, okay, I'm going to make a new beginning. I believe new beginnings, or turnarounds, like some people would call it, are a result of skills and attitudes acquired over a period of time. And then when you choose to put those skills and attitudes into action, turnarounds start happening. New beginnings start happening. And I'm sure that was the same transformational idea that the founder of the Toastmasters movement, Toastmaster Rashi, Smedley, had at that point in time, when he felt better listening, better thinking, better speaking can eventually result in transformative results for individuals. And that was the motivation with which he started the Toastmasters movement in 1924 in Santa Ana, California. So for the guests here, the club that we are sitting, BTMC, has a legacy of its own. We started in 1997. We have completed our 25 years. And we are the second oldest club in India and one of the largest. Now, a typical Toastmasters meeting has 3 parts to it. The first part is the prepared speech, where the speakers already have a certain curriculum and they are at a certain stage, so they'll be delivering their speeches according to the curriculum. That would be phase 1. The next part would be table topics, where you're tested with your impromptu speaking skills, and a table topics master would be here to give you topics. So that will be the second part. And the third part is the feedback, where there is a general evaluator who is sitting amongst us, trying to evaluate the beginning from the beginning of the meeting to the end of the meeting till the gavel comes down. So with that, let's get started. To assess the general evaluator, we have a team, and that team is called the tag team. where there are three people, the timer, the R counter and the grammarian, who will be assisting the general evaluator. As the timer today, we have a Toastmaster who was born in Bangalore but raised in Kuwait and has come back to Bangalore to pursue his engineering. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Nihan.
Good evening, everyone. I am the timer for today. Anything to do with today's meeting and timing, I'm the guy. When it started, when it ended, how long this speaker spoke for, I'm the guy. Now, we have three amazing speakers today, and they're going to be speaking for 5 to 7 minutes. Here's the breakdown. At 5 minutes, I'll be showing you the green card. At 6 minutes, I'll be smiling and showing you the yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I'll be widening my eyes as a sign of a warning, showing you the red card. Evaluators, I know you want to motivate and praise your speakers, but unfortunately, you only have 2 to 3 minutes to do that. Here's the breakdown for that. 2 minutes, you get the green card. At 2.5, the smile with the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I give you that same warning. Do note, 30 seconds, you have grace time on both sides. Another important announcement, for evaluator number 1, at 2 minutes, I'll be ringing the bell once. At 2.5, I'll be ringing the bell twice. And at 3 minutes, I'll be ringing the bell thrice. Now quickly, let's move to table topics. All of you will be speaking for 1.5 minutes. At 1 minute, the green card comes out. At 1 minute 15 seconds, I'll be smiling and showing you the yellow card. And at 1 minute 30, I'll still be smiling and showing you the red card. Now I want everyone to push for that 1 minute mark. And I want all the speakers to look for the smile, not for the color of the card. Thank you so much. Good luck to all speakers.
Let's hope you keep smiling throughout the meeting. Moving on, we have the R counter of the day, who recently traveled to the United States and managed to climb Mount Rainier, a volcanic mountain. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Bhavya.
Good evening, everyone. Today I will be the counter for the day, and I will be keeping track of usage of words like basically, like, so, but, and the repetitive words, use of repetitive words. And 3 small tips to avoid using these words would be embracing the long pauses so that you can get some time to think over. And third will be speaking slowly so that you can organize your thoughts. And last but not the least, just practice more. Thank you.
Let's hope the pauses work well for all of us. Moving on, we have the grammarian. She is a chartered accountant with a passion for reading. So she can read numbers and she can read stories as well, and probably have some stories deduced from numbers. We have Toastmaster Shivani as the grammarian.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. For today's meeting, I have been nominated as the grammarian. So I will be paying close attention to the way you as speakers phrase sentences or use grammar when you're speaking on stage. So if I hear anything that makes me go, wow, that's amazing, then I'll note that down. And I'll also note down any points that I feel could be an area of improvement. The word of the day today is embark. E-M-B-A-R-K, embark. Embark means to begin a course of action. I'll give you 3 examples and three tenses. Example 1, let us all embark on a successful new year. Example 2, last year I embarked on the journey to become a better speaker. And example 3, we are all embarking towards an exciting future. It is appreciated if you all try to include this word of the day in your speeches. And if you think you're a good speaker, please try to do so. That is your challenge. Thank you.
I've presently embarked on my journey as the PM of the day, and we'll soon be embarking on the prepared speech section of today's meeting. As the evaluator for the first 1 first speech is a stalwart at BTMC. He has been a part of the Bangalore Toastmasters Club for 10 years. He has been a part of the Bangalore Toastmasters Club for 10 years. He has been a part of the Bangalore Toastmasters Club for 10 years. He has been a part of the Bangalore Toastmasters Club for 10 years. He has been a part of the Bangalore Toastmasters Club for 10 years. He has been a part of the Bangalore Toastmasters Club for 10 years. He has been a part of the Bangalore Toastmasters Club for 10 years. He has been a part of the Bangalore Toastmasters Club for 10 years. He has been a part of the Bangalore Toastmasters Club for 10 years. He has been a part of the Bangalore Toastmasters Club for 10 years. He has been a part of the Bangalore Toastmasters Club for 10 years. He has been a part of the Bangalore Toastmasters Club for 10 years. He has been a part of the Bangalore To His language and content are always classy. He'll make sure this meeting is worth your money. Please put your hands together for TTM Rajdeep Manwani. To read out the guidelines, we have Toastmaster Kamlesh.
Yeah, good evening everyone. The purpose of this project is to learn and review basic method for the writing a speech with a defined purpose and present a well-organized speech on any topic. A timer, please note, timing is 5 to 7 minutes, and all the best to this speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kamlesh. Our first speaker for the day has just returned from a vacation in Dubai. And when I asked him, what is it that you are passionate about apart from your work, he said he follows a lot of sports. No wonder every time I meet him, he looks slimmer than his previous time that I saw him. He is an incisive evaluator, but today he is out there to give a speech. For a speech titled Fact or Fiction, you decide. Fact or Fiction, you decide. Please put your hands together for Toastmasters Sudipto.
Check. I woke up to the sounds of the blaring radio. My neighbor loves to listen to bhajans in the morning, and the decibel level is invariably set to high. I think he suspects that I am an atheist and wants to do his bit for my salvation. As I gingerly turned around on the bed, my eyes were transfixed to the wall in front of me. There has always been some level of seepage on the wall, and it had rained heavily the night before, so the expected seepage had happened. But I was stunned by the shape the seepage had taken. A human face was clearly discernible. And what's more, the face looked strangely familiar. Wait! That's the stranger from the evening before. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, today I shall narrate to you about one of the most intriguing chapters of my life. It was like any other normal day. After leaving from work, I found a small group of people at the junction. Dutifully, I too joined them. And I found people crowding around a stranger lying on the road. The stranger seemed unconscious and seemed to be bleeding, apparently a fresh accident victim. I sat down and with the help of few others, turned the stranger over. And we were splattered by a gush of blood. The stranger was bleeding profusely. We all panicked. And in the confusion, someone flagged down a cab. I volunteered to take the person to a hospital. After 20 minutes of frantic search, we landed up at Wilson's. We headed straight to emergency from where the hospital staff took over. Since I hardly knew the stranger, I could not help much with the paperwork and left immediately after. At home, I had a quick wash and returned to bed, all the while thinking about this stranger. Next morning, as I was sitting on the bed, staring at the wall in disbelief, I could not imagine this. I closed my eyes, rubbed them vigorously, took a deep breath. With great care and some amount of trepidation, I slowly opened my eyes. Yes, the same face was still there. What's more, the face had the same haircut and the same bent of nose. A Venetian portrait artist could not have done a better job. And I thought there was a pleading look on the face, as if something the face was trying to convey to me. After contemplating on that for a bit, I got up, finished my morning evaluations and rushed straight to Wilson. Yes, I was right about the pleading look. Stranger needed blood and the doctors were looking for a donor. I signed up without a moment's hesitation. As I saw my blood being pumped into the stranger, I felt this sense of bonding with this person. After After a while, I got up and left for work. After a long hard day, I returned home and immediately went to the bedroom. Yes, the face was still there. But the pleading look seemed to have gone. Aha, I made a mental note to myself. The stranger must be recovering. Next morning, the doctors confirmed the stranger was no longer critical, but still in a pretty serious condition. And the stranger had not even gained consciousness from the night before. Couple of more days passed. It became part of my daily ritual to look at the wall after waking up and before going to bed. Little by little, the face seemed to be getting more clearer, and now I could spot a hint of smile on the face. Was I imagining things? Maybe. All this while, my daily trips to the hospital continued. While the external wounds of the patient was healing, the stranger was still comatose. But the face seemed much more peaceful now, and I could again sense a smile on the face. See, I was not imagining things after all. A week had passed. It was Thursday night. As I was preparing to go to bed, I could feel something was amiss. The face looked fainter on the wall. I just shut it off and went to bed. Next morning, as I got up, I immediately looked at the wall. Oh my God! The face now conveyed pain, battle, and sense of poignancy. I was ready in a trice and immediately rushed to the hospital. I was told that the patient's condition had deteriorated gravely the night before, and the doctors were in surgery. I started praying fervently. Now I was feeling this sense of kinship with this person. I was praying. After what seemed to be an eternity, the news came. Alas, the stranger was no more. With heavy steps, I made my way out of the hospital, hailed a cab back home. It had started raining heavily again. After reaching home, I rushed straight to my room. But in my heart of heart, I knew what to expect. Gone! Gone! The face was completely gone, wiped clean by fresh bouts of seepage. Friends, many eons have passed since that incident, but I still ponder over my tryst with the mystical. Is this a fact or fiction? You decide. Mr. Toastmaster.
Let that sink in for a couple of seconds, shall we? Right. This was one of those stories why they say experience cannot be explained. You just need to experience certain things, and you just cannot explain it to anyone. But that's a great retelling of your own personal experience with those much people. Thanks a lot for that. Let's move on to the second speech. And to evaluate the second speech, we have a maths teacher by profession, but a storyteller at PTMC. She has always helped us with multiple stories. Oh my God, I think we just mixed up the second and third speeches. My apologies. The evaluator of the second speech is someone who is willing to take up any role within the PTMC, and whenever he takes up that role, he does it with elan. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Puneet.
Level 2, Project 1 of Leadership Development, and the purpose is for the member to observe his or her time management patterns. With that, hand it back to Toastmaster. Thank you.
The next speaker, we have heard her as the Sergeant at Arms for the last 26 weeks. And it takes a lot of enthusiasm after that to come back and deliver a full-blown speech. And I asked her, what is it that you want to do in 2025? What is that one little big thing you want to accomplish? And she gave me the most unassuming answer. She said, I want to successfully graduate from college. For a speech titled Managing Time or Trying to. Managing Time or Trying to. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Shreya.
Speaking club called as Bangalore Toastmasters Club, which brings me to the second P, which is prioritize tasks. As a college student, I had to allocate what I told, that was from Monday to Thursday. So every Friday, I had to come on the stage every week as a sergeant at arms and set up the meeting perfectly and start off the meeting. So for that, I would clear my calendar the whole Friday and go to college, do my usual task, and then block the time period from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. solely for the Toastmasters, so that I don't get distracted by other tasks. Now, when it was special meetings in the club, as they say, it was my main role to make sure that it goes perfectly well and it is decorated perfectly. So I had to sometimes cancel the plan with my family or friends because it was important for me to come here and deliver the speech and make sure the room is perfect. As I was the essay, and it was really important for me because it was for my self-growth. It was also important, my academic was also important. So whenever I used to have mid-semester exams or end-semester exams, I would delegate the tasks and responsibilities to the associate sergeant house, which was Toastmaster Anand. Now, fortunately, not unfortunately, my responsibilities as sergeant arms and my came to end at the same time. So I started planning for different kinds of trips, which brings me to the third point, which is S. Say, learn, say no. Know your limits and be willing to say no to avoid half-baked work. How is connected? Let me clear the clouds of doubt. Following up from my first rule, planning ahead, my classmates and I started planning a month ahead for the Pondicherry trip. And that time was end semester exam started. That time we started planning. And we didn't quite take into account for an uninvited guest. You might think who is an uninvited guest. You'll know it soon. So we started planning, and then 1 or 2 days before leaving for a trip, we didn't realize that the uninvited guest would be coming. So we could have and should have said no, but we didn't realize it that time. So after we went to the trip, it was half full. We were having fun half the time, and we were really stressed and scared the other half. Any guesses? Who was the uninvited guest?
Cyclone.
Okay, that was, I don't know how, this is my speech or something, but yeah, that is true. That was the cyclone sentence. And it was the exact time when we went to a trip. So one day we were out there, not partying, out there having fun, going to beach, but not too close. And the other day, me and my classmates got really close because we couldn't go outside anywhere. So we sat and talked and talked. Here is where the Toastmasters came into help. So we got to know each other very well, and we would talk the whole night as we would be awake because of all the cyclone and breezes and outside so much noises, and so that we couldn't exactly plan properly, but never say no. No, wait. Say no, but we had fun, and those were the solutions to my procrastination. Hopefully you found it interesting enough to use it in your life. With that, I would like to conclude it by saying, let's have a new year. This new year, let's embark on a journey filled with productivity, and may the club prosper. Over to you.
PPS. When she was talking about it, I felt the need for it. I've been procrastinating becoming a TMOD for more than a year now. But then I also figured during the meeting that I use S more often. I kept saying no. Round of applause for Toastmaster Shreya. Now I've already introduced the next evaluator, our favorite maths teacher and storyteller, who today would be regaling us as an evaluator. So Toastmaster Smita, request you to please share the guidelines for the next speech.
The speakers attending Project 2 from Level 3 Leadership Development Path. The purpose of the project is for the member to introduce or review basic presentation software strategies for creating and using slides to support or enhance a speech. The purpose of the speech is for the member to demonstrate their understanding of how to use the presentation software, including the creation of slides and incorporating the technology into the speech.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for that. Our next speaker is an aspiring soldier. And I had the chance to work alongside him in an outreach that we did for PTMC a couple of months ago, and his commitment and attention to detail were commendable. I asked him, what is it, that one thing which you wanted to do in 2024, which you want to do in 2025? And he said, I wanted to start a blog and write blog posts in 2024, and this time in 2025, I'm going to make sure that I'll start that. For a speech titled, It's Lights Out and Away We Go. It's Lights Out and Away We Go. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Bryan D'Souza.
me ask you a question. What is the similarity between Manchester United, the Ferrari Formula 1 team, and most disappointing Royal Challenge Bangalore?
They're all red teams.
Red and gold, they're all red teams. What do we know about the teams in red? Let me tell you this. Trust me, they never fail. They never fail to disappoint. We have spoken about football, basketball, cricket. But today, let us embark on the journey of Formula 1. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. It's lights out and away we go into the world of Formula 1. Formula 1 is the top tier of single-seater motor racing in the world. It's the pinnacle of motorsports, an epitome of constant innovation, adventure, and glamour. At the turn of the 19th century, a few races started to spring out in Europe. But in the year 1950, all those races came under a single banner called the Formula 1 World Championship. In simple terms, Formula 1 or rather F1 is a bunch of cars going around in circles chasing the finish line. It started here. At the Royal Air Force Base in UK called the Silverstone Circuit, where Formula 1 was born. After that, it's just away from 54 years or more now. Contrary to popular perception, Formula 1 is not a team, is not a single sport, it's not a solo sport, but rather a team sport of this sort. A team consists of hundreds of engineers, aerodynamicists, designers, pit crew and drivers who work together to create one of the fastest machines ever made, the Formula 1 car. The story starts at a team's factory where engineers are tasked to create a car from scratch following the Formula 1 guidelines, and after the construction that car goes into racing. Racing is done by drivers. In F1 we call these the extraordinary heroes because these are the ones with extraordinary physical strength. They are the Superman of Formula 1. I say this because they make roller coasters, which most of us are afraid of, look like a simple joke. That is Kimi Räikkönen adjusting his shades as he goes on a roller coaster. This is a Formula 1 driver. After the car's construction, it goes on to racing. So racing is happens in something called a race weekend, or rather a Grand Prix. In a Grand Prix, there are 3 stages. The first is the practice session, where teams get to tune their car according to the circuit that they're racing in. For example, for a circuit that demands high corner turns, the cars are tuned for more downforce. After the cars are tested and tuned, it goes into qualifying. So what is qualifying? Qualifying is an event that decides who gets to start at the top of the grid and who gets to start at the last. Meaning, on the qualifying day, teams or drivers drive around the circuit at fast laps, and the person who has the fastest lap goes on to the top of the grid and starts first on race day. After this comes the race day, where drivers line up according to the grid that is given, and they start, and lights off, and away they go. So as they start their race, drivers experience G-forces that are equal to astronauts during the space shuttle launch. They experience forces up to 5 Gs. And at the end of the race, they have a weight loss of up to 4 kilos due to dehydration. These are true athletes. What is something that is extraordinary that happens during a Formula 1 race is something called a pit stop. So the other motor races do have a pit stop, but there's something special in F1's pit stop because a team of mechanics changed 4 tires in under 2 seconds. 1.97. Exactly. So once this happens, and once the drivers cross the finish line, in a season there are 24 races, and after each race, the drivers are given points based on the hierarchy of their finish. And at the end of the season, an award is given to a driver with the most points called the Drivers' Championship. Currently, we have Lewis Hamilton and Michael Schumacher equal at 7 world titles of Drivers' Championship. And for the constructor who attains most points in a Formula 1 season, they get something called the Constructors' Championship. So, so Ferrari have 16 of these Constructor World Championships till date, which is the highest. This is the world of Formula 1. For me personally, Formula 1 has been a very exciting sport. It is what gets me out of bed most of the time. There have been times where I've cried literally. There have been times where I've sprung out of my sofa in excitement. There have been times where I've bitten my lips, just curious what might happen. There have been moments that made me do what my mom has been trying for the past 20 years. Just wake up early to watch the last few laps of a race. This is Formula 1. For the ones curious to watch, let's meet during the short break.
Thanks, Bryan, for giving us that insight into Formula 1. I'm sure it's a sport a lot of us are curious about. I really hope someday, someone comes on the stage and gives such a passionate speech about RCB. I really hope it happens a couple of decades down the line. With that, we come to the end of our prepared speech section. For those of you who are interested in Formula 1, please contact Bryan. For those of you who are not interested, we come to the most important part of our meeting. Please get your bio break, please take your networking break, and we'll meet in the next 5 to 7 minutes. Impromptu. This is called the table topic section, and to take us through it, we have a Toastmaster who has grown from strength to strength in the last couple of terms. He was our immediate past VP PR, credited with the launching of the centenary newsletter Shatabdi. He managed to complete a path as well, alongside being the VP PR of the club. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Vishal.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Toastmasters of the day. Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests. How are we feeling today? Wonderful, wonderful. I know all of you are staring at me like how that meerkat is staring at the sky. But don't worry, it's a very simple session. The premise is also very simple. We all remember playing name, place, animal, thing when we were kids. So this session will be themed based on that. Alright? So I will be giving you a place, an animal, and a thing. And you are going to weave a story using these 3 hints.
This is supposed to be simple.
Yes. The story can be humorous, gothic, horror, anything that you would like. Now I know what the next question on your mind is. You're going to ask me, but Vishal, what about the name? As we embark on a new year, let's all remember that we are the heroes of our own story. So the name will be yours. Is that clear? Shall we move on? So this was a demo set. Don't worry, no one's speaking on this. For all of you who have already formulated a story. The first topic is going to be Bangalore, Black Panther and Belt. And to speak on this, can we have Toastmaster Alan?
Very simple topic. So it was a chilly morning yesterday. I woke up with renewed energy saying, I'm going for a walk, because that's what we do after 1st January, right? We have a new resolution, and as I embarked on the cool Bangalore weathered morning, inside my apartment complex, I see a beautiful, wonderful, gorgeous, effervescent Black Panther. But I was not fazed. The security guards came running towards me. I thought they'd come to support me. One jumped on my back in fright. But then I realized I have one thing with me that they all don't have. I was a black panther. And as I moved towards the Black Panther with courage in my eyes, I could see that I am going to achieve something this new year. And as I was approaching, as the panther was looking at me, as I was approaching, the panther looked at me, I approached, panther looked. And that's when I woke up, I saw my wife, and that's when I realized things can be scary.
Alan dreamed of a Black Panther and woke up to a lioness. Now the next topic is going to be Kur, Cat and Cap. Kur, Cat and Cap. To speak on this, can we have Toastmaster Bhavana?
So, in the month of December, I go on a vacation with my family to Cool, and then I wear a cap, a black cap, and I start hiking on a mountain in Cool, and then I come across this cat, a very, very, very cute, lovely cat, and I wanted to take it home. But then I can't. How would I take it? I came in a train. How would I take it? Is the question. So let me think. What are the ways I can take the cat back to my home? So one is go book a cab and go all the way back to Bangalore. My mom will definitely not allow this. Cost effective? Nope. It is not. And can I take it in? Can I sneak it in the plane or a bus? Can I? I don't know. I can give it a try though. But the other thing is, unfortunately, maybe I have to leave the cat on its own and go back with a heavy heart. Back home. To Bangalore. Hopefully I had a lovely vacation. Cool.
Customs officers in the crowd, be careful, Bhavana might be smuggling a cat when she's traveling. Now the next topic is going to be Darjeeling Dog and Desk. Darjeeling Dog and Desk. And to speak on this, can we have Toastmaster Priyanka Rannorey?
Trying to find out which is the best month to travel to the Northeast and when do we travel to Darjeeling. Because every year there is something that we all have, that we all cousins travel to a place and spend a good amount of time away from all our elders and everything and just chit chat and just get out of all the bustle of the life that is going through. Because now all of us are in different cities, we all cousins have moved to different cities. So as we were planning this trip, we almost, I can say that literally lived that trip. The places that we were to visit in Darjeeling, the tea, because of the estates, beautiful tea estates that we had in Darjeeling. And we all are tea lovers. The entire family are big tea lovers. We started living those moments about how Darjeeling is, the weather, the place. And something that my cousins are a big animal lovers. I'm an okay thing with animals, but my cousins are big animal lovers. And they all plan to bring their pets along with them because for them it is like a family member, a sibling. Now that's a big, difficult thing for me to cope up with because when you have animals around, there's a lot of restrictions. But one good thing is since one of my sisters in the army, things got much easier for us. But in spite of it, we just had to plan this entire thing on the desk. Now will the plan go on or no? The future will tell us. Over to you.
Priyanka had already reached the destination, but then apparently she was still at the desk. Now the next topic is going to be Estonia, elephant and earphones. Estonia, elephant and earphones. And to speak on this, can I have DTM Gangaadhar Krishna?
Toastmasters, yes? Good evening. It was that time on a holiday when I was in Estonia. I've never been to that place. I didn't even know where it was until I read it here. Country? There you go. Alright? And I was not even aware that there are elephants in Estonia. I thought elephants were only in a man's own land, or have another country, Kerala. But elephants in Estonia, that really intrigued me. And I went looking for an elephant. People normally go to see tourist attractions. I said, let me see if there's an elephant in Estonia. And I just couldn't find one. As I was walking by and looking for an elephant, will you believe I did see an elephant with headphones on. And he was just shaking his head, I'm wondering why. And then I realized he had his headphones on. And that is something I'll never forget. Estonia, Gangaadhar, elephant, headphones. Over to you.
I suppose I'm running a geography class as well, not just a table topic session. So get ready to be introduced to another country from northern Europe. The next topic is Finland, Falcon and Fan. Finland
Good evening.
So this May 2024, I got to visit Europe, and it's extremely beautiful. Unfortunately, this part of Europe was left out in our trip. Maybe should have done that. So Finland apparently is a lot of people's dream destination because of the lighting, the kind of I don't know what that is called, but the lighting. Yes. Thank you. So I don't know. Falcon is a scary bird. Finland is a scary country. Fan is also scary because I don't know. It can harm you. So, but yes, one thing that I know is that you won't need a fan in Finland. Also, you might not find a falcon in Finland. So, if you want to find all the three things, you will have to go to all three different places. I don't know where I'm going with this story, but yeah, I hope 2025 is so beautiful that you get to see all these three things. Fan, definitely yes, but that kind of fan, I'm not sure. So, yes, please forgive me, but yeah, I hope we get to visit Finland and watch a beautiful falcon living its life. Back to you.
Thank you, Rashi. Well, I suppose everything is scary for a child. Now, the next topic is Gandhinagar, giraffe and gavel. Gandhinagar, giraffe and gavel. And to speak on this, can we have Toastmaster Chiranth?
Thank you, Table Topic Master, for this topic. So, what is just making me sure is not these three pictures, but to the fact that I have never played this place or anything like this place, name, object, and all those things in my childhood. That is the first thing. And coming on to the stage and experiencing it for the first time, and I think I wish I would have been in Gandhinagar and embarked on a journey of watching giraffe, how they pluck and eat these things like leaves and any other herbs. I think I made a mistake coming here and seeing Sheeb, using a gavel to start this meeting. I would have preferred that. But anyhow, this is an experience. I think thank you, Table Topic Master, for this opportunity and and playing this game with me.
Happy to learn that I was able to give you a memory of needless animal thing. Now let's move on to the next topic, which is going to be Himachal Pradesh, hippo and harp. Himachal Pradesh, hippo and harp. And to speak on this, can we have Toastmaster Richard D'Souza?
Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. Yes, I like hill stations because I come from Chikmagalur, which is also a hill station. And I am a lover of music, and I was really fortunate to reach that place. And hippo, I saw, I was not at all scared because in my coffee estate in Chikmagalur, elephants comes, bisons comes. And though I am really scared of it, our employees who also come from backward regions, they are not scared and they make earnest effort to get them away. And I was really fortunate to see these things which I already experienced in my coffee estate at Chikmagalur. And really I felt my trip was really worth, and I have a strong inclination or attraction towards these people. But what actually attracted hippo was I was playing with the harp. I'm a musician, and it also wanted to be part of my music, so that I was fortunate to get the harp also. Over to Table Topic Master.
I to be as good a musician as you, to attract animals to enjoy in our music. Now let's move on to the next topic, which is going to be Itanagar, Ibis and Ice Pick. Itanagar, Ibis and Ice Pick. And to speak on this, can we have Toastmaster Kamlesh?
So it reminds me my tenure in Northeast for the last 5 years. I was there, and Itanagar is one of the beautiful places in entire Northeast. So we are heading towards Itanagar to Tawang, and Tawang is called Switzerland of India, if you have not heard of it. So we are heading towards that, and what happened that in between there is a lot of rock sliding was happening, and both the places was traffic was blocked. There's no movement at all was happening, and that on that we are roaming around. We are chatting with the person who was coming from the other side of it, and we saw that there is a beautiful bird was coming, and there was nothing but its ibis. But it still was. We are trying to figure out how to clear the road, and the best way to do it that what we have done, we exceed the road that's the vehicle itself, and that was the help of the ice peak that we have picked up and cleared some of the roads, and some of the vehicles started pushing back. So that was a great experience. Have you heard that you are exchanging the vehicle? Those who are coming from the different side and they're exchanging the vehicle. That is the first time experience that we had, and it was amazing. It was not in dreams but in reality. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming. I think now Itanagar is on all of our bucket lists. Now moving on to the next topic is going to be Jammu, Jaguar and Jug. Jammu, Jaguar and Jug. And to speak on this, can we have Toastmaster Veeresh?
Jammu has this beautiful lakes that opens up during summer, and every tourist who wants to go to Europe can get a cheaper version in our Jammu and Kashmir. So I would have been really happy if Vishal would have given tickets for the places that he's showing up here. And Jammu, I have traveled this place using Google Maps, and I can assure you that this Jammu and Kashmir and all these Himalayan places, they have long winding alleys everywhere. This is a place which is very different from Bangalore. Bangalore has long winding traffic routes everywhere. On this day, if you open your Google Maps and see, it's red everywhere. So even a Jaguar cannot escape the traffic of Bangalore, but it can escape the Himalayan peaks. It can catch the Himalayan goats. If Jaguar comes to Bangalore and wants to go from one place to another, traffic police will catch it and ask, where is your helmet? And where is your pollution certificate? So, if you want to go to Jammu, then be like a Jaguar and have a jug with you, because in winter it will be very cold, you won't get water. So have a jug, hot jug, and then you travel safely. Thank you.
Unfortunately, I'm like a travel bug. I bite you, and the consequences are yours to deal with. Now, coming to the next topic is going to be Kashmir, Kangaroo and Knife. Kashmir, Kangaroo and Knife. And to speak on this, can I have Toastmaster Ujjain? He's here with us. So, can we have Toastmaster Akash instead?
Last week, my dad called me and told me, Akash, you have been studying too much for this semester, your exams are finally over, come let's go on a holiday. I asked my dad where. He told me to explore all of South India, let's go to the north, the extreme north in fact, let's go to Kashmir. Alright, we pack our bags, get on the flight, after a 2-hour flight we reach Kashmir, And I was exhausted after a 2-hour flight, and we go in our hotel for dinner. And then we were in the dining hall, and the waiters were bringing in their plates, and I had the taste of the dish that they gave us, and it tasted yummy. I told him, wow, it tastes so nice. What is this? It's a local delicacy having kangaroo meat. Maybe non-vegetarians might be happy with that. I'm a vegetarian, I only eat egg. So this was the worst experience it turned out to be. And my mother, who was very strict about all this, began to argue with the waiter without informing us, what is this dish. Then my dad called me yesterday and told Akash, don't worry, even I've eaten chicken and all in the office without your mother knowing, it's no secret. In fact, I tasted every single non-veg dish, it's just that your mother doesn't know that I do it. So, this is your first time. Next time I'll also take you to my office, I'll get you something else. And, yeah. So, turns out my trip to Kashmir, I got my taste for a non-veg dish for the first time. So, I'll ask my dad to take me on another vacation so that I can taste some more non-veg meat because it tasted yummy. Thank you.
I just want to inform the visa office to keep him out of Africa. God knows what all he will eat there. Now the next topic is going to be London, Lima and Lamb. London, Lima and Lamb. And to speak on this, can we have Toastmaster Abhay?
The King of London once wanted to appoint a Prime Minister. So he devised a test in which he had made 3 exact copies of a doll which was shaped like lemurs. Many people came, but they were not able to figure out what, and the question was, the person who figures out what is the difference between each of these dolls will get to be the Prime Minister. And there was also a lab kept to examine the dolls. Many people came, but they could not. Finally, one gentleman came. He looked at all the dolls, and then he took a piece of twig. He passed it between the ears of the lemur. The first one went through and through. He said some people are like this. They hear something and they all throw it out loud. Absolutely no use. He passed the twig onto the second doll. It went through the ear and came out through the mouth. And then he said some people are like this. Whatever they hear, they cannot keep it with themselves and they blurt it out. When he passed it to the third one, it neither came out through the ear nor through the mouth. And he said these are the best type of people who hear something and always keep it to themselves. And that way, the king found his new minister. Over to you, Dr.
Thank you, Abhay, for turning this into a moral lesson. Now, the next topic is going to be Mumbai, Monkey and Mob. Mumbai, Monkey and Mob and the key.
That's the name of the monkey.
Yeah, that's the name of the monkey. As Alan just pointed out. And to speak on this, can we have Toastmaster Srinivas?
Mumbai, the city of dreams. Every year, people come from various parts of India to reach Mumbai because it's called a dream of people. They want to accomplish their goals. But all the people will not accomplish. The person needs to have a dedication to achieve his goals. Everybody, end of the day, have monkey-minded. They might come for something, they might end up getting something. As well as wonky. But laughing for nothing, as like the monkey does. But when I visited Mumbai, I came to know 2 things. One is, the city is always clean. And there is a national park inside Mumbai, which only few people knows, in which they have very rare animals, which is also adopted by our Dhirubhai Ambanis, which they clean every day with the help of
and they have more than 100 varieties of monkey in Mumbai. Definitely, if our Vishal gives a ticket, I take all of you to let us go to a national park and let us see how clean it is. Over to you.
Are you trying to insinuate that we all belong there? That you want to take us all there? Toastmasters and dear guests, thank you for your time. This brings us to the end of the table topic session. And myself and Mr. Monarchy here, who looks very handsome, sign off and over to you, Toastmaster Abhay.
Before we move forward, could we have a place from V? Venezuela. Okay. Could we have an animal from V? Vulture. Could we have a thing from V? Van. So Vishal, that's wins that's wins when you come up some other time to give us our topics. So when somebody else gets to give you a topic. But for a wonderful table topic session, congratulations to Vishal. With that, we move to the general evaluation session, the feedback session. The GE for today is a CA and a CPA, but I would not talk about his profession. He is an author. And I must say, whenever I talk to him, it's almost education for me. We were just having a small conversation last evening, and I was talking to him about the time when he mentioned that he wrote about 52 blog posts continuously, week on week, to earn the right to be a writer. And I asked, how did you do this? How did you be consistent for 52 weeks? And his answer was as simple as ever. He said, Alok, once you set your mind to it, it's just that simple. An author whose first book was the biography of his father, named A Story of Grit and Guts. Please put your hands together for the G of the day, Toastmaster Ganesh Pai.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very good evening.
Good evening.
I have a very peculiar year-end ritual. On the last day of every year, I sit in my room, close my eyes, and reflect on the entire year. This time was no different. On Tuesday, I reached home, freshened up, and then prepared for my year-end process. As I closed my eyes and was reflecting on the year, the whole year flew in a flash, just like a movie. Just that, like a fast-forward movie. Just like this time, it felt more like a YouTube reel or an Instagram reel rather than a full movie. That's when I realized the way time is passing by. I mean, if you realize, the age is catching up on us. I see at my home, kids are growing up, parents are aging. There is an inflation in the economy, but recession in my hairline. All in all, I think time is really slipping away, but it's a call to action to be serious about things we truly desire. On the new year, you would have heard from many, Happy New Year, may this year be your best year ever, and so on. But today, I wish to tell you something different. Today, I wish you a year where you act with a sense of urgency. Urgency to chase your dreams. Urgency to pursue the habit you have been deferring. Urgency to do things which makes your heart sing. So friends, let's not sleepwalk through one more year. Let us embark on a year where we act with a sense of urgency. Okay. On that note, let me me start my evaluation of the entire meeting. First to come on stage, acting Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Prakarsh Anand. He was standing in SAA for the day, set up the room perfectly, was so immersed in writing the board, he was just oblivious of everything that was happening around him. Very well done. Complete ownership and dedication, notwithstanding that he was doing it possibly first time also. But I must say, a phenomenal job. And also I liked that 2 minute, just before, 2 minutes, he gave a heads up to everyone that we'll be starting the meeting in 2 minutes. It was a very nice way to make people settle down rather than just jumping in at 6:30 and going about it. I thought it was very nicely and subtly done. Having said that, few feedbacks, Toastmaster Prakarsh. I think you seem to be having a man crush on President Sheeb Kumar. Your introduction was just unending. A magician, a pipe piper, a Keralite, an Indian, a Homo sapien. So, as important it is to know when to speak, it is also important to know when to stop. Maybe I think when you're introducing next time, just be mindful of the brevity. And next was, I think, I saw you primarily occupied in this part of the stage, writing the board and being around here. It's also important as I say, you mingle, wish people, and just add to the energy of the whole proceeding. So maybe a couple of these things, if you could make a note, I guess that will really add to your performance when you come up on stage again. Overall, a job well done. Can we give a loud round of applause to Next we had Mr. President Sheeb Kumar. I came in little early, I had a meeting close by, so I came to Ashirwad at 4:30. And at 5 p.m., President Sheeb walks in with one collar mic and just ensuring all the little details are taken care, meeting people, greeting, and just to do everything in his capacity to start the meeting and term on a high note. That energy, that enthusiasm was absolutely on display in his body language. And I also liked the story, what he had of Grandma Moose. I had never heard that story. And it was a very nice way to really put into perspective the theme for the day and also given the context and the occasion what we are. Nicely done. And how can I not talk about his humorous element, right? I mean, throughout the speech, be the dialogue with his wife or the productivity level of Mr. Moose and his grandfather. So, and also the song he sang for Alok, and it was very well done. Not over the roof, not damn squid, just that right balance to ensure that the dilution of a presidential speech is not sacrificed, and at the same time keeping the things extremely light. Very well done, Toastmastership. Again, for my only feedback to you possibly would be to be a little mindful of when introducing Toastmaster of the day. You also, I thought, slightly went a little overboard. Maybe you could hold back a little and take care of that next time. But all in all, I must say, President Sheeb played his part in terms of he looked the part, he spoke the part. Truly, you are a class apart. Can you give a loud applause to President? We also had Secretary here, Mahesh, Lokesh, come in and give the secretarial summary. Toastmaster Mahesh, very crisp, factual account of the last meeting, very well done. Only feedback, if you could have possibly dropped using the word of the day of the last meeting, and I thought it was a bit force-fitted. Otherwise, I must say, a very well job. Can you give a round of applause to? Okay, next was Toastmaster Alok Simha. I mean, I will need a separate session to talk about his his performance. But he called me yesterday and asked a very unusual question. He said, Ganesh, what should be your objective for the meeting? for a couple of seconds, I was really short of words because he was thinking of taking the meeting to a very different level, and it was absolutely palpable in his voice. And anyway, we saw the performance. So I told, look, if we can set the meeting on a high note, as in set the term on a high note, I think would have played a part. And I must say, Toastmaster Alok did everything in his capacity to ensure we started the term, we started the year on absolutely great note. And he was totally playing to the gallery, right? And started with a story on cricket, especially in the context the Indian cricket team is. Where even a follow-on is being celebrated as a, avoiding the follow-on is being celebrated as a victory. To take us back to that famous fight back in 2021. It was very heartwarming given the current context. Very well done. And also amazing introduction, right, for everybody. Uniquely done. Just that nice balance. Introducing the facets we didn't know about the speakers and the role takers. And the seamless transitions between the speeches, between the sessions. Honestly, I didn't realize when it started and when I was called for general evaluation. I was totally immersed, and it needs a lot of planning and that energy level and that intelligence to ensure you hold the thread while not hogging the limelight, putting the role takers putting the spotlight on the role takers, but yet holding things together. Very well done. And how we cannot not talk about your sense of humor and also the presence of mind. When there is a little bit of mix-up in terms of the evaluator, especially when it came to Toastmasters Meeta, when he had to introduce her next, he nicely covered it up as though it seemed like it was a planned goof up, but very well done. Toastmaster Alok. Only feedback I have for you is that whole visualization exercise you did at the beginning possibly didn't really land the way you wanted it. Maybe next time you visualize once yourself as to how you want audience to feel, and then if you can come and try on the stage, maybe it will create the desired impact. But all in all, great intent, amazing content, and a potent display of art and science of being a Toastmaster of the day. Can we give a loud round of applause for Toastmaster of the day? Now let's jump into the evaluation of the prepared speeches. First speaker for the day was Toastmaster Ghosh. To evaluate his speech, may I call on stage Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, DTM Rashi Manwani to do his evaluation. Thank you.
Fellow Toastmasters, General Evaluator and Sudipto Ghosh in particular. Today we come from a fascinating story which gripped us to the core of the face on the wall. It was brilliantly done. Now what captured me about your story were two Ds. One, the description. Fantastic description. Right from the blaring audio which woke you up to the fantastic way, the seepage of the wall. You talked about the blood and the smile on the face. So the description in a story is very, very important, and it captured all the senses. Whether it was listening, seeing the blood, all those things, sensing the feeling, the rush of blood, everything was there. The second thing which was very interesting was the second day about the way in which you put drama to the story, on how every day you should look at the wall when you're deciding. So there was a lot of drama, and we were all at the edge of our seats. What's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? Phenomenal drama, gripping narrative. It was very, very nice. So the drama was there, the description was there. But what could you have done a little better? The two C's. One, characterization. Remember, in any good story you need characters. Might be this fellow was a stranger, but he was a faceless stranger for us. Might be you say, the man who had fallen down was Sheeb Kumar. He had a moustache, he had a little bit of bleeding on his head. Might be a little character. The doctor, I went to the doctor and said, what happened, doctor? Because you were walking in and out of the hospital, the doctor was your father-in-law. It was kind of so to add a little more credibility to the story and make it more fact than fiction, could have added a little more about the characterization, because characters bring to life the story, a little characterization. And the second thing which you could have done better was the conflict. Whenever you cut the wound, you have to keep the wound open for a long time. We knew once you had reached the middle of the story that the face is taking the shape of how the man was. Might be kept it a little longer. Oh, sometimes, I saw that the little red thing on his head Was he bleeding over there? Is he going to survive? Is he not going to? So keep the wound alive so that we keep guessing, because we knew as soon as he dies, the face will get erased. So keep the wound a little longer, and for that you might add a little bit of dialogue here and there. But otherwise, a brilliant job done, Sudipto. So I would like to end with a small poem for you at the beginning of the year. Today, Sudipto, you took us through a fascinating and gripping story. Just a little bit of characterization would have made it more hunky-dory. But for all the wonderful description, you deserve the best glory. Thank you so much.
Thank you, PM for a factual evaluation on the title of the speech. Fact for a fiction. Very well done. Let us give a lot of applause to evaluation. The second speaker for the day, Toastmaster Sadugol, and her speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Puneet. Toastmaster Puneet, make one.
Members, guests, and the target speaker, Palgota, good evening.
Good evening.
Shreya, I felt you were very confident from this word go. You had a sense of stage presence and a fluidity of thoughts that was just palpable because you have experienced it for the last 26 weeks at the club. However, there are a few things I felt were off, and I'll dive deep into them. I felt the general purpose and the specific purpose of your speech didn't align. And to go deeper into this, I would pay you back in your own coin and use the PPS acronym. So prioritize, plan ahead. I would ask you to plan ahead your speech. Elements like the activity you asked for. You could have combined both of them saying, raise your hands, all the folks who procrastinate here, and keep the hand raising if you procrastinate for a few hours. And you could have continued it. Plan ahead really helps in understanding what activity to place where. The second is prioritize stories. I really felt that the Pondicherry story didn't fit the speech overall. Because you were here with the promise of showing us how we can conquer procrastination. And towards the fag end of the story of your speech, you shared a story that highlighted how you were not able to keep up your time. Right? And bringing in Toastmasters, saying to have an ability to chat and the whole night. And if you don't, and to most members and guests, she missed getting disqualified by a prayer. Like a single second and you cross the red card. So I would suggest prioritize stories that align and strengthen the specific purpose and the general purpose of your speech, which I felt was missing. It felt like a Gangaadhar ice cream where everything is just put into it and you don't know what to expect next. The last is subject. I felt you came in with a promise that you're going to support us with procrastination. And it slowly went to how you handle procrastination. And then it went nowhere. The chronology went from a day in the life of Shreya to a week to the time you spent as your term here as a Sergeant Arms, and then to your Pondicherry trip. So I felt that it didn't really sit right with the central message that you were trying to make at the start, which was to help procrastination, talk about time management. Overall, I felt you had the content, you had the pieces in place, a little bit of organizing in terms of planning ahead, so you have the activities, the stories, the anecdotes, prioritizing which ones to choose, and then finally to make sure that the subject aligns throughout your speech. We would have really had one hell of a speech. Having said that, I would urge you to re-embark on this speech project because I couldn't spot a pattern of how you utilize your time. Other than that, thank you, and back to the general evaluation.
Thanks, Toastmaster Puneet, for a wonderful evaluation, and Toastmaster Shreya for picking a very relevant topic in today's day and age where 24 hours this doesn't seem to be enough to do what is worthwhile. The final prepared speech was delivered by Toastmaster Bryan. I request his evaluator, Toastmaster Simha.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. your interest in F1 racing that keeps you awake even in early mornings, you told, right? That added spice. You were talking about something you were passionate about. And the audience also could capture it because you had that energy. Your presence on the stage was enhanced by your body language. But that's where I want to give you my first suggestion. In your enthusiasm to explain about F1 racing, you forgot that there were slides at the back. So you were hiding parts of the slides, and then the audience had a doubt, confusion, whether to look at you or to look at the slides. So maybe a little more practice with the presentation would have avoided this confusion. The second thing I liked about yours, the number of slides used. You used around 7 slides for a 7-minute speech. They were clear, legible, effectively used, especially the pit stop one. I don't know how many of our words we used to explain that. You showed it, that visual effect was just amazing. So that is the intelligent use of media. Then comes the title of your speech. It's Lights Out and Away We Go. It's good, but I wish you used it somewhere along your speech. Maybe the last slide which said, I don't need wheels, Red Bull gave me wings. I don't want to use Red Bull there. But then somewhere you use your title, or maybe you could have made the title into this one. That would have been nice. In summary, a great speech, beautifully crafted slides, effectively used, a little more practice as to where to stand while using the slides would have taken your speech to another level. All the very best for your projects. We look forward to seeing your projects. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Smita, for a wonderful and a comprehensive evaluation. And Toastmaster Bryan, you have injected a desire to follow F1 racing. Maybe after the meeting, we'll exchange notes on the next race. Let us give a louder applause to both the speaker and the evaluator. Next, we had the table topic session of the day, and the table topic session was conducted by Toastmaster Vishal. Whenever Toastmaster Vishal comes on the stage, I really look forward to his energy, right? I mean, he's always energy on a live wire. And this time also, it was not too different. Such a high octane session, he tried to keep it light as much as he could with a nice bunch of topics. And the kind of combination he came up with was so weird. I thought, people will struggle, but still, I think everybody was I won't say comfortably, but still managed to do a good job to stay on the stage and speak for 2 minutes. Very well done, Vishal. Only feedback I have for Vishal possibly is, given that he has so much of energy, maybe he could have just not used the mic and used amplified his own voice. It would have been better. And instead of sticking to just one thing throughout, it could have been an assortment of various things. I think they could have added a bit of versatility and variety to the whole session. Overall, a very well job, very well done. Let us give a lot of applause to Toastmasters. Now let us turn the spotlight on my tag team to give the timer report. May I call on stage timer for the day, Toastmasters.
Hey everyone, I'm back with the time report. Honestly, before I took this role, I thought it was a very easy role. Just show these cards up and in between of monitoring you guys' speech, clapping, monitoring the time, and also flipping around these cards to show what time. I noted down everyone's speech timings somehow.
Now,
Speakers, you guys scared me. Two of you got me with my eyes wide open. Grace time, Bryan and Shreya. Evaluators, all of you got me smiling. All of you one time. And table topics, all of you did really well. All of you got me smiling. But Toastmaster Chiranth, I don't think you want to see me smiling today. Needless, all of them qualified. All the speakers, table topics, evaluators, all of them were on time. No one really got disqualified today. And that's my time report.
For our counter report, I on stage our counter Toastmaster.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to give a shout out to those people who didn't use any crutch word in their speech. So they are Dr. Rashi, TM Sudipto, TM Simha, and TM Vishal, TM Aranha, Toastmaster Abhay, TM Bhavana, DTM Gangaadhar. That's it. And today the word was used 54 times, was used 7 times, was used 5 times, like was used 4 times, so was used 4 times. And the repetitive words that were used in the speeches were and it was used total 9 times.
Our counter report. Next, let me call on stage Rannorey for the day, Toastmasters.
Good evening. So like I said, I was going to focus on the grammar, the way you phrase your sentences, but I also focused on the vocabulary. I'm going to begin with what I thought could be an area of improvement. An year, a year. Are you on the same page? Are we on the same page? From those meeting, from the meeting. Share you, share with you. There was a baby girl born, a baby girl was born. Retired from life, retired. In the canvas, on the canvas. India lose, India win, India lost, India won. Little big thing, little or big thing. Narrate you, narrate to you. Fresh accident victim, accident victim. Scenario goes in your mind, scenario in your mind. Start off the meeting, start the meeting. Half work, incomplete work or divided work. Breezes, breeze. Award, an award. Elephant or bison comes, elephants or bisons come. In fright, in fear. Bustle of life, bustle of the life. Life's bustle or bustle of life. No movement was happening, there was no movement. Person need to have dedication. Person needs to have dedication. Okay thing, I have no suggestion for this. Now, some of the commendable usage. President Sheeb, fame and popularity rose. Crafted pictures. Sweet age of 101. The door of embroidery and painting. Secret source of success. Create a brand new ending. Toastmaster Alok Simha, moral victory, turned around things, incisive evaluator regaling us. Toastmaster Sudipto, decibel level set to high, flagged down a cab, some amount of trepidation. Something was amiss, pain, pathos and a sense of poignancy. Many eons have passed, tryst with the mystical. Toastmaster Shreya, half-baked work. Toastmaster Bryan, pinnacle of motorsports, sprung out of my sofa. And Toastmaster Ganesh, age is catching up, hold the thread, not hogging the limelight. Coming to the royal challengers of Bangalore Toastmaster Club, the people who use the word of the day today, we have 7 people. Toastmaster Alok, Shreya, Sadugol, Bryan, Vishal, Ganesh Pai and Puneet. And special appreciation for Toastmaster Alan whose only table topic speaker who used it on his speech. Now, I will be submitting this report to the committee and you can have a look at the diary to know more. Thank you.
Shivangi for a graduate report, which almost looked like an audit report. Expected of a Kannada. But I must say, all each of them very creatively introduce their role rather than just reading out from the guidelines. I think it was very well done. Kudos for the great, insightful, and very pointed observation. Let's give a lot of applause to this. Friends, it's a new year, and like the theme says, you have been handed over blank pages. Can we write something worthwhile? Can we write something which is worthy of reading in years to come? That's not just a great year. Can we act with a sense of urgency and make it one? With that thought, I would like to conclude my general evaluation and hand the stage back to Toastmaster team. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ganesh. A round of applause for Toastmaster Ganesh. Like I said at the beginning, it's always education when he comes on stage. And maybe the first few thoughts that you could write on the blank canvas of your mind could be that sense of urgency that he talked about. Moving on, the password for today's meeting, or the voting for today's meeting, is 2025. You can start voting. We'll have about 30 seconds for you to cast your vote. Unless you're using Vodafone, which I'm using, and it takes a lot of time for the pages to load. I assume the rest of you have completed the voting. Yes. Can I get a yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. It looks like we're done. Thank you. Thanks a lot to the committee for giving me this opportunity. It felt really good to be back on stage as TFOD. Back to Mr. Sheeb.
A man who has a word in his name. He created a, rather painted a word on the stage, right? What can we give for him? And the person who worked so hard behind the scenes to arrange this meeting, Toastmaster, etc. Give a round of applause. For the publicity work, thank you so much. And we have your gifts to give away for the installation ceremony. First, I want to invite the role players who has decorated the stage on that day. First, the person who took us through the meeting, entire meeting, so much of energy, so much of enthusiasm, enthralled us, Toastmaster Anand. I'm getting used to it. Thank you. And this lady, what can I say about this lady? Anytime you ask her, she don't have that word of no in her dictionary. What instead of no, she said no problem. And the little package we said, I think so much of energy, Toastmaster Rashi for playing that absolutely wonderful role on that day of distributing awards. Toastmaster Rashi, for the vote of tanks competition. I'm sure this lady will win that. And she ace the stage of that day. Our past president, Toastmaster Priyanka Rannorey. One more good news. Yeah, you can say that.
I would like to give this to our president and wishing him all the best for the coming term and hoping that he will also make this club a presidential club. We have received this ribbon from the Toastmasters International District that the 2023-24 term Bangalore Toastmasters Club is a presidential distinguished club. And now I would like to hand over to the president.
We had some more awards during the installation ceremony. We had conducted a program called Clear for the St. Joseph College students, and this person has played a pivotal role in coordinating the entire program. Toastmaster Alok Simha. And for being the valuable player, yes, we couldn't give it on that day. This is Toastmaster Gangaadhar Krishna.
Okay, shall I?
One more is there, yeah. We can fix it.
It's breakable,
We can fix it. The man who always churned out stories about Nasruddin Hoja and Tenali Raman, who bagged the best table topic speaker award, Toastmaster Abhay Kotari. For tonight, the best auxiliary role taker award goes to the lady who enlightened, dazzled us with her grammar. Toastmaster Sheeb. The best table topic speaker award goes to the black belt person, Toastmaster Aranha. And the best role taker award goes to the person, कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, yes, Toastmaster Alok Simha. And the best evaluator award goes to the Kohinoor of our club, distinguished Toastmaster Dr. Rajdeep Manwani. And the best speaker award goes to the man who spoke about fact or fiction, Toastmaster Sudipto. for a group photo.
One can come.
We have one announcement. The speech craft is going to start on February 9th. So I help all the members to help us getting numbers. And we have snacks waiting for us there. And first, the guests, please have the snacks. And our membership committee will take you through the Toastmaster program and the speech craft program. And with that, can I close the meeting? Yes. I close the meeting number 1460.